Go.
All right, good afternoon, and welcome to the first of hopefully many interviews that will be surrounding the most worshipful Prince Hall Grand Lodge of free and accepted Masons of North Carolina jurisdiction. Our fearless leader and most worshipful Grand Master of North Carolina is none other than that of Daniel L.D.T. Thompson. We send greetings to Grand Master Thompson as he is traveling and moving about this great state of North Carolina. I am Past Master Rod Funderburk, hailing from Bivouac Lodge number 503, which is located right here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Today, I have with me Right Worshipful Junior Warden, Badgett. How you doing, brother? Eric T. Badgett, correct?
That's correct, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Brother Badgett is an important figure in the most worshipful Prince Hall Grand Lodge of North Carolina jurisdiction, and he is a Grand Junior Warden. Grand Junior Warden Badgett is known by all Masons here in North Carolina, and if you don't know him, I am quite sure you have heard of him, and at least have heard his name. So, Grand Junior Warden, number one, I want to say it's an honor and a privilege to have you here today.
Thank you, sir.
And thank you for coming and being with us today.
Yes, sir.
And we don't always get the privilege of having someone of your prestige to be around us all the time. So, how you doing?
Doing great, sir.
Good.
Blessed to be here. Enjoyed the fellowships thus far and hospitality.
Yes, sir, and that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Will you please tell everyone, what lodge you belong to, where you're hailing from?
I'm a member of the Industrial Lodge on 251 and the 27th Sonic District, where Brother Maurice Hamilton is our district deputy grand master.
Okay, good deal, good deal. Well, Brother Badgett, one of the reasons I always enjoy talking to you is you're one of the most modest brothers that I've come across, and you really have that brotherhood down in your heart, which is very important. And I know you're not going to toot your own horn, so listen, I might have to toot his horn for him. But this brother here is the man. This is a brother you can call on at any time. He'll shoot you straight, which is most important. And then you always want to be on the betterment side of brothers, which you cannot go wrong whenever you're trying to go that route. And I do appreciate you for being that type of person. We really appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
So, Brother Badgett, with you being here, I'm going to jump right into things.
Yes, sir.
Because a lot of times people don't really know about the Masonic order. And hopefully, with this and maybe some more interviews to come, that we can really kind of teach people who are not of the Masonic family, what it's all about. And as you know, individuals, of all types of areas and persuasions have different perceptions about Masons and who we as Masons are and what we as Masons do. And I've even had, people that ask me things like, hey, do Masons sacrifice people? And do they do things with goats and all kinds of stuff, which I find hilarious. You know what I'm saying? So I'd like to start off, with a very general question and ask you if you would explain to our listeners as well as our viewers what Masonry is all about, or even better yet, some of the things that Masonry is not about.
All right. Okay. Well, to tackle the first part of the question is, a lot of people have the fear of the unknown.
Yes, sir.
A lot of time curiosity kills the cat.
Yes, sir.
The old saying is. But a lot of people look at our organization, and when they have a fear of the unknown, there's a lot of things out there in the internet world today that people look at and they get the wrong misconception about Freemasonry. Basically, what our philosophy is, we make good men better. That's one of the things that we try to do. We also try to interact with our community to enhance our community, to build up our community. And those are one of the allegories that we study upon when we come into Masonry. We do have ritualistic portions that a lot of people have a curiosity about. But at the same token, those ritualistic portions, they veil the actual image or they illustrate the actual purpose of our organization.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I appreciate you letting know that so people can kind of sit to the side and not worry about us sacrificing goats.
That's not happening.
Not yes, sir. One of the things that Masons have also obligated themselves to do is a lot of charity, and you kind of mentioned it about the community even in your answer. So charity and goodwill is something that we as Masons should and always are about. Would you tell us about some of the community works that the Most Worshipful Prince Hall Grand Lodge and its affiliate lodges participate in or could possibly be organizing sometime in the near future?
Well, one of the things is education. We try to invest in the education of young people, and that's by giving scholarships. One thing that our Grand Master, Daniel D.T. Thompson, is trying to embark upon in the near future, our lodges, they give away scholarships Some scholarships are small, some are big.
Yes, sir.
One of the things he's looking to really try to capitalize on is be able to give a full scholarship to a discerning student. And that's some of the things that he's trying to work on in partnership with a lot of organizations in order to get the funding to be able to do that.
Yes, sir.
One of the things that he's trying to do is to give, to have each district to give a $1,000 scholarship.
Okay.
And what this does is with the perspective of the community that as Masons, we do a lot of things and we do what we say we're going to do. As in our organization, we take a lot of obligations. And one part of obligation that's not really mentioned is obligation to our young folks.
Yes, sir.
And we got to get back to give to our community, and education is one of them.
Yes, sir. It really is. Now, with you mentioning that, how has that partnership been going as far as worship Grandmaster? Seeking partners. Are they kind of embracing things? Is he finding some resistance? How is that working out?
Well, for the majority, brothers are embracing that concept. It's just a matter of finding the right organization and the right time to actually embrace it and have the concept actually to resonate with the organization that we try to collaborate with. It's working out fine. It's doing good. It's going to spread as it grows. And along with the other ideas that the Grandmaster has, it's really going to expand. So we can look forward to expanding this scholarship program in the future.
Yes, sir. Well, that sounds great. There's nothing like education. I come from a family of mom was a teacher, and uncles and aunts have been teachers as well as principals.
Right.
So education is important. It's one of the things that we have to have, and one of the things that we do here, even at Bivouac in the 30th District, is we give funds. We have a motorcycle charity ride every year, and we give book bags and school supplies to those kids who are in need. And then funds that are left over, we give them to those Title I schools. So education is very important. Now, you mentioned this is something going on by DT, who's the Grandmaster. And just like a lot of organizations, we have leaderships that change. And recently, the North Carolina jurisdiction has had a leadership change. And Grandmaster Daniel L. DT Thompson is coming up on his 1-year anniversary as Grandmaster. Would you be so kind as to share his vision? And I'm only asking you this because I know you're close to him. You're the junior Grand Warden. I know he bounces things off of you at all times. Y'all are always collaborating and seeing how things can get better and how to move, not only us forward as Masons and Brotherhoods and Eastern Star, but also as a people. And so would you share his vision of maybe how the Prince Hall family has bought into his vision so far, and where do you see the Grandmaster's vision taking us in the near future?
Well, the Grandmaster, he's adopted a team concept, which is to teach, empower. He's looking at trying to motivate the community, and he's trying to get everyone on board. His main vision is he wants the jurisdiction to grow as a jurisdiction, and he wants us to get back to practicing the basics. He's created a lot of programs, and another program outside the educational realm that he created was the disaster relief. As you know, a lot of our lodges on the coast, every year when hurricane season approaches, it wreaks devastation on the coast. So what he's trying to do as well, he's trying to create a disaster relief program where we can not only help, not only Masons, but help our community.
Yes, sir.
And that's one of the things that he really harped on, is we just don't want to focus on our lodges.
Yes, sir.
We also want to go into the communities that have been devastated by storms, and we want to help them out, because that's what we're bound to do, to help mankind.
That's right.
So that's one of the things that he's embarking on as well. And I think the program is going well because he has put individuals in place to also, within that realm, partnership with other organizations in order to obtain any items that we may need, food, water, any resources that we can tap into in order to make this program successful. So that's another big plus that the Grandmaster is working on that I think is going to be a real good for the jurisdiction.
Yes, sir, and I'm sure that's going on now, because I think we've gotten solicitations, to send as much water, or even as we did with this last Hurricane Dorian, which our prayers and thoughts go out to everyone who was affected by that storm there. Okay, Brother Grand Junior Warden Badgett, I kind of wanted to just switch just a little bit and talk about one of the things that has divided America as a whole has been that of skin color. And even in Masonry, traditionally, our ancient, free, and accepted Masons have been our Caucasian brothers, and our Prince Hall Masons have normally been that of African American descent. However, in Masonry, we have had the opportunity to kind of break that color barrier. Can you explain to our listeners and our viewers how the recognition between Prince Hall free and accepted Masons and ancient free and accepted Masons inside of North Carolina are affecting race relations, and how our Grand Lodge, plans to use this to continue to improve race relations, not only between Prince Hall and ancient free and accepted Masons, but within our community as well?
Well, as you know, the concept of Masonry, as we know, is based on the Holy Bible. And all the guidelines within Masonry are within the ritualistic portions of the Holy Bible. And as you know, in the Holy Bible, if you look, God looked down among two people. He said, how could you love me who you never seen? But you hate your fellow man you see every day.
Yes.
Ever since we've had that recognition, it has brought us together. And it's not only brought us together, it's created a concept outside of the recognition between the ancient free and accepted Masons and Prince Hall Masons to other recognition with other jurisdictions across the globe. It also brought us together and shown a true concept that when you look at brotherhood has no skin color.
Right.
And what we have done by bringing that relationship together, show the community that we can survive together as a race of people. We're coming together with the same common cause. And I believe with this relationship coming together, we can also tackle all the issues that we have in the world today.
Yes, sir. That is awesome. Now, with the recognition ceremony that we've had, and the plans that not only Ancient Free and Accepted have, but as well as Prince Hall, I know there's been a lot of, contact with brothers on both sides. Can you tell me how the Grand Lodge is continuing to, make efforts to strive forward, and how they're encouraging subordinate lodges to make efforts to go forward and communicate with our brothers on the Ancient Free and Accepted side?
Well, one thing the Grand Lodge is encouraging that we have visitation with our ANFM brothers.
Yes, sir.
And through mutual recognition, this is working out tremendously.
Yes, sir.
And with that concept, the Grand Lodge is able to contact the ANFM brothers on their side to be able to embark on certain programs and using resources on both ends to accomplish our common cause. And they encourage to reach out to all aspects of Masonry. As you can see, in the past, we have begun to try to create the same concept in other parts of Masonry, such as York Rite, the Scottish Rite,
Yes, sir.
and in the Shrine. So what we're doing is we're trying to strengthen the whole relationship as a whole in Freemasonry in order for us to accomplish our common cause.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, that is awesome, Brother Badgett. And then I'm going to switch completely all the way back around here, because I want to talk a little bit about you.
Yes, sir.
A little bit, my brother. Now, listen, one of the things that's going on is brothers all across North Carolina have talked about how you, the junior grand ward,
Yes, sir.
has traveled around North Carolina from the mountains all the way to the coast within the state of North Carolina. You visited lodges that have never been visited before. You visited lodges in the valley. You visited lodges in the country. You visited lodges sitting up at the top of the peaks that nobody can get to when it's snowing outside. And from the time I met you years ago, it was very important to you that brothers' voices be heard, and no one in the Prince Hall family feel like they're ostracized in any kind of way. And therefore you set out to make sure that you could have some representation and go to these lodges in the countries and in the valleys of North Carolina. I'm curious, what kind of plan did you have to put together to accomplish all of that? And so far, how has that plan worked out, not only for you in the Grand Lodge, but how has it worked out for those brothers who haven't seen Grand Lodge offices and are so thrilled and happy to finally see Grand Lodge offices?
Well, I tell brothers from the beginning that you elected us as Grand Lodge officers. We work for you. You don't work for us. And we say we are the travelers.
Yes, sir.
So that means that we got to get these shoes on the ground and get out and see our brothers. And a lot of brothers, they feel that they're left out when they don't see you. They just see you just one time a year at the convention. They feel left out. So you got to get to these brothers. You got to shake their hand. They got to feel that warm blood from your hand to their hand. They know that you care. And when you go out and see brothers, they get motivated when they see that leadership is willing to extend that olive branch to help them out at any time of need. It's worked out tremendously. I have a website that's out, also on Facebook page, and as well as my Instagram page, my LinkedIn page, my Twitter account. Okay. So a lot of brothers have reached out to me and put a request to have me come to their lodge. I have to go to my receptionist at home, my wife.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
to make sure that it's on the schedule, but she's been very supportive, and I love her dearly for that. But it's worked out tremendously. The brothers have been motivated. They've been motivated to try to build their lodges within, because they know at any time if they need us, we're going to be there. And then it's not a question of if I call on you whether you're going to be there. It's a question of when I call on you, will you come by foot to be here?
Yes, sir.
And it's really put the love of masonry back in a lot of lodges, but the motivation was dropped because they're really trying to understand where they fit in the leadership role for us at Prince Hall Grand Lodge, North Carolina.
Yes, sir. Well, that is awesome work. And I'm glad you mentioned that you have a Facebook page and a website where brothers can contact you. They can interact with you, ask questions, and give suggestions. Why don't you take this time to let everybody know, what your Facebook page is, your website, how we can find you, how we can get a hold of you.
Well, on my website, all you got to do is type in RWEB, the ambassador, at wigsite.com.
Okay.
And you can go online and pull it up. If you have any problems, you can call me 336-587-6828. You also go on Facebook, just type in Eric Badgett, Junior Grand Warden, and my Facebook page will come up. And if you go to my website, it automatically links you to my other
your Facebook page.
Facebook page. So, like I say, you can call me anytime, day and night.
That's all right. That's all right. So, brothers, y'all heard it from here. But before we get out of here, I know you have a limited amount of time. We're going to wrap this up a little bit. But before we get out of here, I wanted to ask Brother Badgett, Brother Grand Junior Warden Badgett, is there anything else that you would like to share as it pertains to the most worshipful Prince Hall Grand Lodge jurisdiction, North Carolina?
Well, one of the things I want the brothers and sisters to know in this jurisdiction, we come together as a collective whole and support all of the programs that our Grand Masters put into place. This whole jurisdiction will move to higher heights. We got a lot of programs that are coming forth that's going to help our community. And the only thing we ask is the brothers to meet us halfway and participate in these programs to make them successful.
Yes, sir. Well, that's all right. Well, you have heard it first today from Right Worshipful, Brother Grand Junior Warden Eric T. Badgett. I am Rod Funderburk, hailing from Bivouac Lodge number 503. Thank you for joining in and listening to us today, and keep your eyes open for our next set of interviews that will be coming soon.